Hello and welcome to this week's level editor update. First thing you'll see is there's actually now a loading bar when you load into the level editor. The game hasn't needed loading bars until now, but the table creator itself takes a little bit to load, so I just want to let you guys know that the game hasn't crashed. It is loading. Next thing that I added was I had a request for more LED icons. Before there was just 2, so I've added 3 more. There's a round circle, there's that one as well. Anyways, so next big feature I would say would be the material editor. So you click on one of your objects to edit as you did before. And you can hit material and you can change the color of the material. You can't actually change anything else. You just simply change the color. Bounce force to kicker force on here. That was something that was requested. Another thing you can see is before this used to just be little text, but now they're actually input fields, so you can actually that should actually say not rotation speed, that should say Y rotation. So you can change the angle of the object here as well. So just if you want specific tuning on the amount of degrees that it is spun, I'll show it on a different type of object. But anyways, bumper force has been renamed to kicker force, and you can actually just manually enter whatever values you want. You don't have to fiddle around with the slider if you don't want to. And then the certain objects which have LEDs, like the bumpers and the slingshots, you can change the LED now. So you can change the color, change the range of it, like that. You can change the intensity of the light as well. So before, the only way you could scale a board would be like that. But now if you press the scaling button again, you can scale it along a single axis instead, or press it again and you do it along the other direction. I've also increased the amount that an object can scale and the speed at which it scales at. There's a couple visuals. So I added a few new weather effects. So what did I add? I added a wind effect. See the wind going by, some dust, flies, what else? Fireflies was a new one as well. Asteroids. There's a whole bunch of things that I added. You can click on and look at asteroids. Here you go. I added colorblind options to the game, so people who are colorblind, there's some new post-processing effects, and so I figured I might as well add them to the table editor just for the heck of it. If you want to choose a colorblind option, you can. I labeled them all as CB underscore, so colorblind underscore, and then the name of the type of colorblind setting. I did it that way, so they're just grouped together and they're all bundled together. You can find them very easily. I had to redo a lot of the colliders on the objects like these, especially the blockers. A lot of them were just placeholder colliders. So what that means is this is going to be way more accurate than it was before when you're trying to select an object. There was some that were really finicky, but now it's going to be a lot more accurate. But unfortunately, because I did that, I had to move some stuff around. So you may notice that things, if you're loading an older save, things may not be exactly where they were before, unfortunately. But I, in theory, won't have to do that anymore. So another change that I made was when you are flipping an object, it'll actually retain its scaling. Before it would completely lose the scaling, so you can just, if you want to mirror something on the other side, it's much easier to do now. You don't have to rescale it. And then I added a new command where if you hold shift and you right click, you can actually flip it the other way. Before you could only do it in the one direction, now you can do it the other. So there's that. It should just make things a little bit easier. See, look at that, beautiful. And I've had people comment about how they don't like the way the UI is set up. I'm gonna look into changing it and maybe move it along the other sides, but that's gonna require a whole redesign of how it works. I'm not ruling it out. It's just I'll definitely do it. It's just not the highest priority. I want to get some other things going right now. But for now, what I've added is if you press tab, you can move it to the top. If you press tab again, it gets rid of it, and then you just obviously press tab to cycle between the three options. So I moved a lot of the stuff around on some of these screens here. So I moved like the flippers and stuff are all grouped together, and just things are just generally easier to find, and they make a bit more sense. There was a lot of bug fixes as well. I'm gonna post a ton of patch notes for the bug fixes. I'm not gonna run through all of them. Lots of like small UI changes and stuff. So this week is more about quality of life changes rather than adding new mechanics and features. But I did add a couple color customization options and things of that nature. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this update.